What's up, guys? This is Wwe, and this is...
What is my name?
Jason Funny.
Gosh,
Yeah,
I made you say
Funny.
it.
Yeah. Anyway, you know who this is. This is Jason Funny. Ha, 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 ha.
Follow me on Twitter.
Yeah. Go ahead and plug whatever you're going to plug real quick.
I'm not. You think I would plug stuff? What kind of person do you think I am? Okay, follow me on Twitter at JasonFunny3, and also on my Facebook page at FunnyTubles40 at FunnyTubles42, and for all my latest tweets and Facebook page, and my latest videos will be posted on those two accounts there. In my opinions, which count.
Yes. And, of course, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell for all notifications because, as you know, YouTube does not throw out the videos when we put them up.
Like, subscribe, and push the bell button for notifications.
Do you have to jump over when people are trying to talk?
Well, you told me to plug it.
Okay, we'll plug. But
you interrupted me.
Make sure you whatever. Make sure you do all those things because the more you like, the more you share videos, the more YouTube pushes the videos. So it'd be much appreciated. Now, Hell in a Cell. Didn't expect this. Absolutely not. The Beast is back. The Beast is back with a vengeance. Now, we all know why he's back. We all know why Vinnie Mac brought Brock Lesnar back, which I know Jason Funny was not too happy about, right?
Mm-mm.
Jason Funny is not a Brock Lesnar fan. Me, and I'm sure a lot of you, happy to see Brock Lesnar come back and just wipe the floor because no matter how much they push him as a heel, it's awesome to see Brock Lesnar tear the house down. But let's be honest here. We all know why Brock Lesnar came back tonight. The same type reason Mick Foley was at Hell in a Cell. Right, Jason Funny?
Right.
Brock Lesnar was at Hell in a Cell to kind of protect the Hell in a Cell matchup. Cause a screw finish, which, by the way, wrestling fans, WWE, since when is there a no contest finish in a Hell in a Cell matchup? Regardless if somebody interferes or not. Since when?
I've never seen a Hell in a Cell match ever end like that.
Let's take a history lesson. The Undertaker and Shawn Michaels.
Mm-hmm.
Hell in a Cell matchup. 1997. Who interfered in that matchup? Who debuted in that matchup? None other than the Big Red Machine Kane.
Yes, I remember that. It was great.
Ripped off the door. Tombstone pile driver.
Excellent.
The Undertaker to oblivion. Shawn Michaels was already bloody mess. Did they call the match? Absolutely not.
No, they didn't call a match. It continued.
Shawn Michaels was victorious.
Unfortunately.
But
they had a winner.
What's so different now?
But they had a winner.
Yes,
at least. Even though I was more on Undertaker's side.
That's my point. What's so different now? Absolutely nothing, except the simple fact, and I know you're a Roman Reigns joy juicer, Roman Reigns fan, except the simple fact that they are trying to protect the Roman Empire with bringing Brock Lesnar in and not wanting to have a crap load of booze and heat by Roman Reigns getting that victory. That's why they also brought in Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose and Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre on top of the cell, amongst other things, even though it was exciting to see for a lot of the wrestling fans.
I think they try to protect Braun Strowman from being so boring.
Well, but okay, you see it in a different light. But anyway, you get what we're trying to say, wrestling fans. It was all protecting the matchup because fans have been crapping on this contest the entire build. Whether it's because Braun Strowman was turned heel or whether it was because Roman Reigns has the title. Regardless, WWE, horrible job with the finish of that match. I like Brock Lesnar coming out and stirring a ruckus because Kurt Angle said, "You're not getting a rematch for a very, very long time." He's getting vengeance because of that. But there should have been a winner. No doubt in my mind. Whether it was Strowman or Reigns. Something should have happened.
It didn't make no sense to me.
But anyway, as far as the rest of the show goes, we had Samoa Joe versus AJ Styles for the WWE Championship. This matchup ended in controversy. Another match with some controversy in it, which we had a lot of matchups that kind of had that tonight. And Samoa Joe and AJ Styles, look, they always put on good contests, and this was no different. But in the end, we had the Coquilla clutch, and AJ Styles reversed it.
As a controversial call.
And it ended up being a 3 count, 1, 2, 3. But at the same time, AJ Styles tapped out. Now, 2K19, not released yet. AJ Styles victorious. A lot of fans wanting Samoa Joe. I know you're one of them, right?
Yes. Oh, absolutely.
Wanting Samoa Joe to be WWE champion.
Mm-hmm.
Will that happen? It still remains to be seen. They still have the SmackDown 1000 show. They still have the Australia Super Showdown. That's already set. That's going to be a no DQ, some form or fashion, but it's going to be a no disqualification type matchup. And Samoa Joe's already got his rematch.
Yeah.
So what do you think about this, Jason?
That's kind of a specialty of no disqualification, and I think AJ might be in trouble. But I think that
you're gross.
I think that Samoa Joe has plenty of time to spread his wings, and just give him time. They're just using AJ for right now for his pretty boy looks and video games and all that stuff that was in his contract. But Samoa Joe's time's coming.
So you think it's coming? You think his time's coming?
Yeah, and he'll be like a real champion without all the glitter.
I really want to see that. The only thing that really is bothering me with people like Samoa Joe and Braun Strowman is how many times can we sit here and see them fail?
Well,
we saw Samoa Joe fail at SummerSlam. When he was on Raw, we saw him fail against Brock Lesnar. We're seeing him fail now. How many times can we see him fail? We've seen Braun Strowman fail time and time again, the same type situations. Before too long, people are going to not care about these superstars. In the sense of not caring of, okay, they're big, they're strong, but it's like, okay, you get what I'm trying to say.
Braun Strowman's case, I agree with you. I don't agree with you on Samoa Joe because the following he brought with him when he came to the WWE, his reputation besieged him before he came. So it's not true with Samoa Joe. It may be true with Strowman, but not Samoa Joe. No, it's not true with him. Because he don't really even have to prove himself right now. He's championship material. Everybody knew it when he got signed.
Yeah. Jeff Hardy versus Randy Orton inside Hell in a Cell. Brutal, nasty, vicious, violent. I think the best way I can describe this is when it comes to Randy Orton's heel tactics, when he took out the screwdriver and he stuck it in Jeff Hardy's earlobe.
Woo!
My niece looked at me and she said, I can't watch wrestling anymore, and she ran into the kitchen. That alone shows how great of a heel Randy Orton is, because he needs to play that heel where it's like, gosh, look how violent he is. Look how
it's like the
the kids don't even want to watch this anymore. Have to turn it off. And yet the next week they're right back in front of the TV again.
It's not like
we don't see that a whole lot. We don't see that a lot, too often.
It's like his kicks in the head.
That
was violent. They was always like, oh my gosh, he kicked him in the head. And that was a big deal. That was considered pretty bad.
Yeah. But I think that and the fall from the top inside the cell was the two big things that Jeff Hardy was kind of tweeting out on his Twitter account that he was going to do when his head went right through the table at the very end. But I really enjoyed this contest, and Randy Orton did pick up the victory. Not real sure if it was supposed to end that way, but I'm sure this is going to ride Jeff Hardy off for a little bit, and hope to see Jeff Hardy back in the near future. One thing I'm going to mention, though, Jeff Hardy throwing up blood because his head went through the table. No, I'm sorry. That doesn't make any sense. WWE.
Well, he's probably supposed to land better than that. But when you're that high up, they could have done a lot more. They did a good job compared to 20 years ago because they can't do as much. They're not allowed to do as much as they could 20 years ago. They're instructed not to get too
vicious and violent.
Yeah, bloody and stuff. So it did get a little bloody, but they did as much as they could. They pushed the envelope as much as they could for now wrestling. But 20 years ago, if them two would have faked, they could have done a lot more. But they're not allowed to. They get in trouble.
Right.
So they did that's the best you're going to see it nowadays. It's not like the old school WCW scaffold matches or the old WWE Hell in a Cell or anything like from the old days where they used to bleed out blood. WCW used to have that 20-foot scaffold thing they would fall off of, and they don't do stuff like that. ECW crap, they don't do all that stuff anymore. So that's about the best you're going to get it now in the modern day, in the WWE. Not saying there's not alternatives out there, but in WWE, that's what all you're going to get.
Yeah,
which much. Wasn't too bad. Not too bad.
No, it wasn't a bad match. Charlotte versus Becky Lynch. Now, you say woo, but I know you was not.
Woo!
You were happy and not happy at this at the same time. And I know this because you are on the
Joy juice
bandwagon, so to speak.
I thought you was going to say joy juice.
No, I'm not saying joy. I'm not saying joy juice. I guess I could if you want.
You
always
me to. Say joy juice. You're on the joy juice because I'm a fan of someone.
Yeah, you're a joy juicer. All right.
Stuff.
But anyway, Charlotte versus Becky Lynch. Look, a lot of people wanting a double turn during this contest, wanting Charlotte to this cold cocker after Becky won the title. I, for one, I'm kind of glad that didn't happen.
I wish it would have.
I'm glad Charlotte did not turn heel during this contest.
I wish you
Now,
would.
don't get me wrong, wrestling fans. Don't get me wrong. Charlotte turning heel is what needs to happen. Because when she goes over to Monday Night Raw and she goes on her way to fight Ronda Rousey, she needs to be heel. Because who do you think she's going to boo? Who do you think the fans are going to boo? Ronda or Charlotte? Charlotte, without a doubt. But this time, let Becky have the entire spotlight. I mean, since when? When was the last time Becky had the whole spotlight in a pay-per-view matchup? Very rare. So, this didn't hurt whatsoever. Now, later on, Charlotte can turn heel. What do you think?
Look, maybe she lost, but it doesn't matter because this just opens up
I hear you sign
the queen to be the 8-time ladies champion. It just keeps climbing up the ladder.
Yeah,
up the ladder.
You're waiting for her. You just can't wait for her to beat her daddy's record, can you?
It's getting up there. And, there's a time where people booed her daddy, too. But now her daddy is among the immortals when it comes to wrestling. And there was lots of boos on Flo back in his day. Mostly jealous people.
Jealous? What do you think?
Like Chloe.
Chloe, do you think they're jealous?
Yep.
Do you think they're jealous? No.
Yeah, she does.
She agrees.
Of course she would agree with
Charlotte, she agrees. Charlotte should have just done what she did tonight. And Becky should have just had all the spotlight.
Yeah, well, she would agree with you. She's your dog, but my dog, Wendy, would disagree.
Whatever. The Shield versus Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre. Now, this is another contest I am absolutely fantastically thrilled about. The Shield does not hold all the championships in the WWE.
Unfortunately.
This is not
they did.
This is not a group, a faction like the Four Horsemen.
Yep. I consider them up to that rank in the NWO. Anyway,
I'm speechless.
Yeah, I love the Shield. They used to dominate the WWE, dominate everybody. And they're still. They should all three have.
You have got to be kidding me.
I always liked the Shield. They used to beat the snot out of everybody.
They do not deserve to hold all three major championships on Monday Night Raw at the same time.
Yep. Raw is Shield. The Shield deserves it. They're the dominant force. Ain't nobody can beat them. When they all three are together, nobody can beat them.
Look, I really like the fact that Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre got clean 1, 2, 3 victory tonight. It's still going to continue the rivalry. It's already booked for the Super Show 6-man tag, the Shield versus Strowman, McIntyre, and Ziggler. What?
The silence that came from you when I said that. About the Shield. You were speechless.
Daniel Bryan and Brie Bella versus The Miz and Maurice. This plays tremendous into the storyline. Now, D. Bryan and Brie Bella versus The Miz and Maurice.
I almost forgot about that match.
This plays tremendous into the storyline. Some people were hoping that Daniel Bryan and Brie would get a little upper hand by getting the victory here over The Miz and Maurice, because it doesn't really account for a whole lot as far as storyline goes, and it's still going to build to The Miz and D. Bryan over a championship. However, this with Daniel Bryan and Brie losing, Daniel Bryan is still chasing The Miz. Just like Daniel Bryan chased the Authority all the way to WrestleMania 30. It makes for a great storyline, great storytelling. And it's still a rivalry that's very intriguing to the wrestling fans. Plus, my perspective, Miz and Maurice have Miz and Mrs. on USA. Of course, they're going to continue to get some victories. Plus, WWE Championship, once The Miz gets it, he's got to look stronger for Miz and Mrs. as well. He's not going to get losses. What do you think, Jason? Funny.
Well, for a while, he did get loses for a long time. But it's pretty sad. I had already forgotten about that match that he had with...
Are you not a D. Bryan and Miz fan?
I used to be a Miz fan. I just forgot about the boring match that they had. But, when the Miz starts performing like he used to, then maybe I'll try a little bit harder, or maybe I'll become a fan again. Put in the work.
Ronda Rousey versus Alexa Bliss, Raw Women's Championship. Now, I already told you earlier, Ronda's still the Raw Women's Champion. Now, a lot of people are cringing on this, and I know they are cringing on this. I haven't even been on Twitter to find out, but I know you are, because how much offense Alexa Bliss got in this matchup. Didn't make much sense. I'll agree with you. The only thing I'm going to say about it is the fact that the heel, no matter how much Alexa Bliss is just this little princess darling type superstar that eases her way throughout matches with Mickie James and Alicia Fox. The simple fact is, you can't just have her go in and get destroyed. And Ronda Rousey getting beat up and actually having matches is okay, even if it is against somebody that's not believable. What do you think?
Well, I thought maybe they would have Ronda Rousey come out to Piper's old theme song. But anyway.
That's the only thing that you noticed about it?
And then she took on, who now?
You didn't pay any attention to
Alicia.
that. Alexa Bliss. Alexa Skunk.
Yeah, but Bliss, she's kind of a fancy dancy. And, of course, that's her character. And, of course, no surprise on the match, honestly.
No surprise.
No surprise. It wasn't,
And, of course, in the pre-show, the New Day versus Rusev Day.
Ugh. Rusev Day.
Now, I wish they would pull the trigger on Rusev Day. I wish they would give Rusev Day championships. However, they didn't. They didn't give Rusev Day titles. I knew they weren't going to. It's on the pre-show. They don't change championships on the pre-show.
Of course not.
So, what do you think? New Day's title reign continues.
I think they're going for another record.
They will.
They're in the record book right now. I mean, whether you like them or hate them, and they're going for another one.
So, they'll be not only the longest reigning tag team champions, but they'll hold it the longest amount of times, the most amount of times. It's only a matter of time before they do that. But this has pretty much been the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. It was mediocre at best.
It was okay.
It was okay. It was what a B-level pay-per-view has always been. It had some excitement towards the end with the Brock Lesnar coming out and tearing the house down. But then it absolutely fell flat when WWE changing the rules of a Hell in a Cell by not having a finish. So, look at it, take it as you will.
There's a time that wasn't true about the Hell in a Cell, though.
Yes, that's why I said changing the rules.
There was a time where it was pretty exciting, and you couldn't wait till the Hell in a Cell came on, and they'd been just such. I guess it's hard to beat some of the matches that's happened in the past.
So, if I would have to rate this Hell in a Cell, I'd probably give it a C plus C. What about you?
Yeah, I guess maybe a C plus or two. Yeah, I mean, it was okay. There's spots where they're pretty good. There's a few okay moments. It wasn't the worst pay-per-view they ever had.
No. It was one of those where you could have some good moments, but then WWE would just come back with a big fall.
They should have had a winner.
But they didn't. But they didn't have the winner, so they could continue those rivalry into the Super Show.
Yeah, but they could have still continued that rivalry if they'd been the winner. There was no use of that.
Right. But anyway, thank you for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed this review. I'm Wwe. This is
Jason Funny.
And don't forget to go to our channels. What's your channel again?
The Jason Funny 42 channel on YouTube.
And don't forget to subscribe to both of these. Hit the bell. And until I see you again, catch you on the other side.